And we're live. Hello, everybody. Guess who's on time today? It's Polly. Hi, Polly.
Hello.
It feels so weird to not start the show by myself. Okay, Polly, I feel like I owe you an apology. Because last week, I was giving you shit, as one does, you know, when one's co-host is totally late all of the time. But that's not the part that I want to apologize about. The part I want to apologize about is because while I was giving you shit, I think I said something akin to, I hope he didn't get into a car accident or anything.
Did you actually say that?
I actually said that.
Oh, Jesus.
And little did I know, apparently, that's exactly what happened. And I feel bad because I might have jinxed you. I didn't mean to. Although I don't know if it happened before or after. I just know that I said it, and now I think I'm like Nostradamus Jr. or something.
I don't know. That sounds more like God visiting some rightly deserved guilt upon you for having.
So yeah, that's why Polly wasn't here last week, guys. It's okay. I hope Polly's okay. I asked Polly if he's okay. He said he was okay, but he could be lying because he's trying to spare my delicate sensibilities. I don't know.
I wasn't injured. The driver broke her wrist, though. But
how is she doing? Is she fine?
Yeah, she got fun medicine. My doctor never gives me fun medicine.
Sorry. I've never gotten... Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I've gotten fun medicine before when I went in to get my appendix taken out. And then I played the phone call that I said to everybody. I played the phone call where I called my dad and told him what was going on at 2 a.m. while he was asleep. Oh, and I did that for everybody. It was a great time. Sorry.
And what was it that was going on?
I had appendicitis.
I thought you meant you called him up like after everything had already gone down. It was like 2 days later and you were enjoying the fun medicine. You're like, so Dad, I'm watching this movie, right? And there's
No. They gave me fun medicine, and then I called my dad because I'm like, he should probably know that I'm in the hospital about to have emergency surgery. But it wasn't until after they gave me the fun medicine that I realized, I should probably do this. So I was high on the phone, giving my dad a message about, updating him on how everything was going to go down. And I'm thinking to myself, I should probably tell my dad I love him in case this doesn't go well.
Anesthesiologists kill a surprising amount of people.
No. This was before the anesthesia. This was...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's likely not the surgery that's going to kill you. It's that damn anesthesiologist.
It's a hard job, Polly. All right? There's a lot of math involved, and you know how humans are with their math and stuff.
Yeah, they just don't care. It's like...
No, that's not it. We're just not calculators. We make mistakes. We're error prone. Human error is a thing.
Okay, you can chalk it up to that if you want. I mean, it's just, this woman weighs 145 pounds and, this muscle mass, whatever, that means X amount of gas of this thing. And then it's like, she's super sensitive to it and croaked anyway. So it's not just a matter of math. Sometimes it's just rolling the dice.
It wasn't until like 2 months ago that one of my professors, I was telling my story to the professor, and he's like, oh, well, yeah. Did you know that there are some people who are more sensitive to anesthesia than others? And I'm just like, no, I didn't. I really didn't. So when they put me under, they could have put me under. Is that what you're telling me? I didn't realize, okay, so I thought the normal stuff, like maybe there would be some accidental slippage with the knife stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'd have an infection, whatever, some freaky nonsense, because I was in a bad place. But I didn't think about the anesthesia until well after. I was like, oh, I was in a lot more danger than I thought I was.
Yeah, if something's going to kill you, that could very well, it's very likely that's going to be it, man.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the closest to death I've ever come, actually.
I remember when the doctor was putting me under for some surgery, or the anesthesiologist was, and that motherfucker lied to me. I'll never forget that. That was like the worst thing that guy could have done. He said, okay, so what we do here is that we're going to give you some oxygen to help you breathe and get everything started, and then we'll move over the anesthesia. And I said, okay. And he's okay. So start counting backwards from 100. When you get to 1, that's when we'll start with the gas. And I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm like 100, 99, 90. You motherfucker.
I don't even remember falling asleep at all. I don't know what number I got to. I just remember that I started counting and then I woke
I can't
up
believe you
and
fucking lied to me like that. That's
Yeah.
some fucking, like, I mean, seriously, that's got to violate some kind of Hippocratic oath or modern ethical construction of ethics or.
Of course, why would it Polly?
No, come on.
No,
That's
Polly,
like
your doctor is infallible. They know all things. It's called medicine, not practicing medicine, right? Yeah.
What?
Just kidding. No, doctors practice
that's
medicine.
not fallibility. You know, being a fucking intentional liar is not fallibility.
Maybe they just don't want you to freak out while you're going under. You don't know.
See, you know what? I've had this conversation with doctors repeatedly. I'm like, you know how some people, the details freak them out? It's the lack of details that freak me out.
Well, maybe
you tell me how you know what you know. That makes me comfortable. Like, okay. Make me believe you're not taking a fucking guess.
Okay. All right. You want them to walk you through it baby steps wise, like you are a brand new, a pre-med person.
Yeah, not baby steps so much, but it's like, well, you likely have this condition, but we don't know that yet, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, now you freaked me out. Like, I want to know, okay, you're exhibiting symptoms A, B, and C, and that leads me to think this, but because of reasons 1 and 2, I'm not certain. You know, okay, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I want to hear your reasoning process. That comforts me. Whereas with most people, as my doctor says, goes, that will freak most people out if you tell them that. The more details you give them, the more their mind races. And I'm like, no, I'm the other way around, man.
Yeah. In those situations where that's the case, I want as much detail as I possibly can get.
Hell yeah.
Because you feel a lot better when you know exactly what's going to happen to you. This isn't just like with regards to hospital stays either. This was anytime I have to deal with police officers, for instance. I'm very inquisitive, I guess you could say. This is in class that this happens. This is everywhere. This is even when I get my car taken in. Yeah, you ask them exactly what it is that's going on, because I'm a girl. And I know that girls tend to get ripped off. And before I leave my car with any mechanic, I call my dad up and ask him, hey, Dad, is this legit? Should I trust this person with doing this thing? Like, I need a new harmonic balancer on the car. And it's supposed to be the thing that lessens vibrations in the car, I guess.
I know what it is, yeah.
Okay. All right. So not everyone does.
I'm not even a car guy. I just happened to, through accidental circumstance, know what a harmonic balancer is. But when he told you that, you're like, that's not a thing.
That's not a thing. Yeah,
no, you made that up. The Ramistan. That's not a fucking thing in a car.
Blinker fluid. Okay. I'll follow up with that story. But yeah, so he tells me, you need a new harmonic balancer. Your car needs a new one because it's like shot. And I'm like, all right, cool. Hang on. Let me call my dad, make sure this is legit. Dad, we need a new harmonic balancer. Does that sound legit? Okay, thank you. Hung up. Do what you got to do, man. It cost me like $300. $325, I think. And for a week.
That's funny. You know what? Mr. No's got a question about Star Trek. I think this is the first time I've ever been asked a Star Trek question. I'm excited.
Ooh.
Was there an original series Christmas episode? The answer is no, but in the episode Dagger of the Mind, you do see a Christmas party that was happening on the Enterprise. So that's as close as it gets. It's a flashback sequence where Kirk thinks back to a party that was happening. It was.
I don't watch Star Trek. I'm sorry.
Well, nerd cred damage right there. That's.
I never pretended to be like a full-on nerd. Yeah, I watched Doctor Who when I was a wee tot, and
oh, you were a hooey?
It's called a Whovian.
No, hooey.
Oh my god. Star Wars. I also watched Star Wars. The original cuts, not the remastered versions.
Oh, really?
Because I'm cultured like that.
See, I still have the desire to make the poly cut of Star Wars. Yeah. There are certain things from the remasters that are good. I'm tired of people bashing everything like it's not all good. Like a lot of the Mos Eisley shots, with the exception of the moment where the entire screen is covered in a lizard's ass. That's no good.
Okay, all right. Devil Fruit Zero. I know that a flux capacitor does not go in the car. I am not that ignorant. Also, everyone should know that I do know how to change an air filter, an oil filter, and the oil on a car, as well as the tires. So I never get that done with a car place ever. Like, I can do that. I don't need a mechanic to do that for me, so that's fine. It's the other stuff that I don't know how to do, that boyfriend can't fix for me, that I will take it to a mechanic for. So I very rarely go to a mechanic unless it's something that I, or my dad cannot fix. Right? So there's that. But okay, Polly, I do have to tell you my blinker fluid story.
Shoot.
So I went to Walmart 2 years ago, and it's embarrassing that this happened as close to current day me as it did. But I went to Walmart a few years ago, and I asked Balik if he needed anything from Walmart, because we do that for each other. We tight yo. He's like the older brother that I never had and never wanted, but got anyway. So I'm at Walmart. I ask him what he needs, and he goes, blinker fluid, in a text message. So I can't read if it's sarcastic or not, and I'm just like powering through my list, like, all right, blinker fluid, whatever. I guess that's in the auto mechanic section. So I go to the auto mechanic section, and I'm perusing through the aisles, looking and looking and looking, and I can't find it for a solid 15 minutes. I'm like, blinker fluid, what the fuck is that? Blinker fluid. And finally, I go up to one of the Walmart auto mechanic people in the area, and I'm like, can you help me find the blinker fluid? And then I realized blinker fluid isn't a thing. It took me embarrassing myself in front of someone who actually knew what I was talking about, or not what I was talking about, to figure out that I was getting punked. All right. And I was so pissed at Balik for that. But also I'm like, that was good. Because I was in the middle of our prank war too. He got me. That was real good.
Nice.
Blinker fluid is not a thing. Blinker fluid is not a thing. I had a total Zoomer moment. Oh, it was bad. It was so bad. And the funny thing is, I've seen that prank done online before too. And I remember those videos, watching those weird Vine videos or whatever, where dad does that to his two daughters. And I'm just like, why did I not think of this? I had a total blonde ditz moment. Oh, you ever feel stupid like that, Polly?
No.
No? You never felt that stupid?
No.
I bet you have. You're just not ponying up. Come on. I told an embarrassing story. You gotta tell an embarrassing story. That's how this works. Right?
The embarrassing story.
Oh, tonight I am drinking apple pie moonshine. So I'm gonna be knocked on my ass real good later. It's proper moonshine too.
Proper moonshine?
Yeah, like
it was made by like Toothless Joe and his slack-jawed yokel buddy out in the bush.
Well, I actually never met the guy who made it. I got it from boyfriend who bought it off a guy he worked with back in the day at a car factory, who makes it in his basement and does.
Jesus Christ! That's how you go blind, Weebo.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I've done this before. I'm not blind. Super tired, but not blind. Okay, are you guys messing with me? Are muffler bearings also a thing? They're not a thing. They're not a thing.
That's good. That's good. Who
said
that? Who's a smart ass? That's pretty good. Muffler bearings. Oh, duck dog. I had a seized muffler bearing once.
Stop it. This isn't funny. This is not funny. Every 60,000 miles. Please, gentlemen, don't take advantage of me. Please, no bully. You're drinking a virgin eggnog, for you are pure and wholesome lion patriot. That is good. Well and good. Polly, what are you drinking this evening? Is it your typical? The St.
No, I'm going to be done when I'm drinking soon. I'm. Oh man, I've gone undergrad special here. I'm drinking a rock star that I poured vodka in the can.
Ooh. Yeah, that seems like the easiest way to go about doing things.
Yeah. With Stat Angel, Sunny D, and vodka. Yeah, man, that's
Type in chat what you guys are drinking tonight with us so that we can feel like we're less alcoholics than we are, because we're not alcoholics, right? We are college students. And remember, kids, it's not alcoholism until you graduate for the last time. Right, Polly?
I like how you threw in for the last time there. That's good.
You gotta be inclusive. Not everyone just sticks with their undergrad. Some people move on. I might. Who knows? We'll see. Virgin water on the rocks, Deco says. Interesting.
So the here I got a pitch for you, Weebo.
Okay. Shoot.
It is the Christmas season.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about all things cookery and such. I show us pictures from other people, and it wasn't well received.
I think I heard about this. This is the goose, isn't it?
This is the goose.
Mm-hmm.
This is a colonial recipe, roasted goose with baked apples. Look at them back there.
They're delicious. I like apples when they're in the oven.
Man. Look how like it's all collapsed and stuff. Like your knife would just sink right in through that, and it'd be all roasty. And oh man.
So, how are you planning on making this goose?
Well, I haven't really decided, because I might go with duck, but goose is just so classically Victorian Christmas that I, colonial like. I think I might go through the trouble to find a goose. I found a local purveyor of gamey waterfowl.
Hang on. You mean to tell me that you aim to make colonial style goose holiday stuff, and you are not going out and you're not shooting the goose yourself, defeathering it and gutting it yourself? Is that authentic?
Well, okay, that might not be authentic, but no, you people bought geese back then, like a lot. No, seriously. And it's like, I mean, Cynical Lindsay says, I'd try goose, but I've heard it's a bit greasy. My honest thing is like, yeah, it's going to be like dark meat on a turkey is what I've heard a lot of people say. And I'm okay with that.
I like a little bit of flavor in my fowl. I've had goose sausage before, and it's actually not bad. So I would imagine like whole goose also does not taste bad. Honestly, I'll try anything once. I think Balik and I were talking about buying some exotic meat from like an online vendor or whatever. We haven't decided exactly what we want, but it's going to be something really, really wonky. Like rattlesnake kebabs or whatever, because fuck snakes, right? Or not alligator, because we both have had alligator before, but something exotic, definitely. We don't know yet. So if you have any suggestions for anything that you think that we might like, definitely let me know, because we've been talking about it for a year and a half and we still have yet to do it.
This Cynical Lindsay says, see, I brought this up with Irate Alex here. Says, I think it's a popular Christmas dinner in the UK along with turkey. Yeah, I brought that up with Alex, and he's like, he went into this whole thing about like he got irate over it.
Oh, Alex got irate over something?
Yeah, he's like, you and Monkey, it's like Monkey thinks the UK is the Shire. You think Sherlock Holmes is running around.
Truth be told, I think it's all cobblestones and horse-drawn carriages. But I might be a little bit antiquated in my thinking.
Well, so I went in this thing and I said, nah, man, it's not like that. I said, are you trying to tell me that if you came over to America on the 4th of July, you wouldn't want to see people like doing throwbackisms? I'm not saying currently live that way, but, holding the traditions alive. You wouldn't want to see people in tricorn hats and eating the foods of yesteryear and so forth. And he's like, no, I wouldn't, because racism, and I'm quarter black, therefore, someone's going to want to string me up. And I'm like, that's lame. You lame. That was
that. No.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
That's
even know.
not how that works.
That was a cop out. That was bullshit.
We can throw back to 1872, you know, and not commit mass murder of people.
No one was murdered. They were valuable property.
Polly. That's hate speech.
Well, yeah, I know. Besides, there's all kinds of fucking places you could have went in the colonies and it wouldn't have been a problem being black. Like, I'm not trying to say it was some egalitarian land. It's just go to an extremely pious place. You'll be fine. It's go hang with Quakers. You'll be fine.
I have a related side tangent. And this is something that I posted on Twitter earlier today because someone made a freaking comment on my Twitter, not my Twitter, my Instagram, because I posted a nice picture of myself on all my holiday garb because I had a concert today, so I had to look nice. You know how it be. And so I posted this thing. The picture of me in like black and white and then just in color with the red lipstick or whatever. And someone comes up and says, which one is an alt-right sympathizer? Because it was a side-by-side comparison of like black and white versus color. And this person, I swear to God. I replied with neither. But then they went, I've seen enough of your content to know, quote, we was kangs. And let me just say, because I disagree with the Black Egyptian hypothesis partially, does not mean that I am an alt-right sympathizer. Right?
Well,
those two things do not equate.
No, but for the purposes of fucking Twitter, yeah, it does. I mean,
this is on Instagram. And also, where the fuck did that come from? Left field much? Like, I haven't been involved in the was kangs debate for at least 2 years. I was in the sophomore dorm when that was a thing. At least 2 years.
You know what's a fun thing? The whole it's when you find out how profoundly unpopular or possessing a lack of popularity. It's not that it's hated. It's just like, oh shit, here we go. That so many black people regard the kangs thing and all of that shit, where it's just like, oh come on, man, really? It's funny to listen to that being dismissed amongst people. It's I remember it was last summer, somebody went like, oh really and the white man's literally the devil too. Like, it's just, get out of my face with that shit. It's just not realistic in a lot of ways, and it doesn't really matter when your self-worth is determined entirely by your perceived complexion connection to a civilization that doesn't even exist anymore. Like,
that's a little bit sad.
Yeah, like what does that even mean? What's that?
Oh, you got it.
I'm sorry.
All right. No, like, is that all that you have going for
you?
That is so pathetic.
And it's, if you're into archaeology and you're into, well, it's because black people have been left out of history and Africa's history has been taken away from Nubians and so forth. Okay, why are you not diving headlong and with great alacrity into actual Nubian African history? Because there's a lot to look into and a lot to be proud of in history that goes back a long way, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
you don't need to make shit up and base it upon, weak connections and shit.
Yeah. The Nubians only had like a partial amount of, across all of the different dynasties found in Egypt, right? They only had a sliver of a modicum of a dynasty that they, were in control of. And that's it. And that does not a Black Egyptian hypothesis make necessarily.
See,
right?
No, it doesn't. Duck Dog says 30. The Egyptians died out because they worship cats. Yeah. Hey. You want to be next weeaboos? That's right. You back off of the whole cat girl thing and obsession with cats.
What's wrong with cats?
It'll bring the downfall of civilization is what it'll do. Look at the Egyptians.
Listen here. Listen good.
All right.
30 dynasties. They all worship cats. That's a substantial longevity, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's all right, I guess.
I'm sorry. Do you know of another dynasty that's longer?
Oh, come on.
Not another dynasty, but of another civilization that lasted as long.
Sort of, not really. I don't know. It's you've studied enough history to know it's a convenience of a contrivance and convenience of history to connect all of the. I mean,
it is. I know.
Like in Ramses II's day,
anything for
the
cats.
pyramids were already fucking ancient beyond belief. Like, you know what I mean? They were making a connection to the builders of the pyramids, going, yeah, that's us. We was Kangs. Like
that was the point of my entire video like 2 weeks ago. The one that had to do with Thanksgiving. Because everyone just condenses history into these little sections. Never mind the fact that history is a lot more complex than it is. I was only just making that for the cat's sake, though. I don't actually think it. I think cats are great.
No, I like cats. Cats
are good boys, good girls.
Okay, so where was I going with the whole colonial thing?
You said something about goose. You wanted
goose. I haven't gotten around to getting the fixins for my mushroom ketchup yet.
Mushroom ketchup?
That's right. It's a super common sauce that they used in colonial times.
Would it have been called ketchup then? Isn't ketchup trademarked?
No.
What's the history of ketchup?
Ketchup is ketchup just like sauce, and it's like obviously when we're thinking of ketchup, we're thinking of like tomato ketchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what ketchup is. Ketchup is this tomato-based sauce condiment.
Not originally, no.
Polly, are you about to expand my worldview?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Ketchup back then is okay. So originally, British sailors, they're over there in Asia, and they've got along on the Pacific Rim, and they've got a sauce there that is like ketchup, and it's a fish sauce, whatever. And when they bring it back, it becomes a staple of the English diet, thus makes it over to colonial America. It was basically more like Worcestershire sauce than it was.
All right, say it with me. Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Fuck me up. Worcestershire sauce.
Josh. Yeah, you sauced all right.
No, that's just my face and the way that it is pronouncing word. Worcestershire sauce.
And see, Joy Zasaro comes in with the solid knowledge there. The garum sauce, the Roman one.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar, like fermented sauce, except that it's not fermented fish that they would do with the mushroom ketchup. So okay. So you know what happens when you like sweat out some mushrooms, right? Under heat, they just let go of all their water, and it kind of turns into like a soupy base. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that earthen base, substantial broth for the sauce, right? Mm. And everything else has got horseradish, chopped lemon, a touch of cayenne, touch of allspice, touch of cloves, a bunch of vinegar. See what I mean? A lot like Worcestershire, like it. And so, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I've got a recipe from colonial times, from a cookbook from 1794. And,
some practical archaeology, then.
But yes, I guess. Is that archaeology or anthropology? I think it might be anthropology.
No, because anthropology has to do with cultures that exist today, whereas archaeology looks at cultures from the past. Sorry, not practical. Experimental archaeology. Experimental archaeology is a very specific sect of archaeology wherein you are replicating the things that you speculate might have existed based off of evidence that you dug up or that you have from primary sources, and you are essentially trying to recreate what it is that happened back in the day. Like here, we have some chick whose entire thesis next year or next semester is going to be about ancient beer making methods. And a large portion of her thesis involves making beer with ancient methods. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that works out.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It's probably the most fun part of archaeology that you could do. And that includes burial archaeology.
Huh.
Because like digging up dead bodies is all fun and games, but you don't actually get to enjoy the dead bodies. You get to enjoy the beer that you're making. Piece of life. You don't get to enjoy the dead bodies. Polly, why don't you stop me before I say these things?
Well, I was just sitting there going, I'm thinking, yeah, we're online. I think it's too low of a hanging fruit to make a necrophilia joke. I think I'm just going to let it go. So I got the mushroom ketchup going, and I'm going to enjoy a colonial Christmas, man. I'm going to have a good time with lots of stuff from colonial times.
Are you going to invite people?
What'd you say?
Are you going to invite people to enjoy it on your festivities?
Yeah, well, no, I'm a hermit. Fuck them. No, absolutely, I am.
Good. I'd hate to think about you eating a whole freaking goose that you made yourself by yourself just in front of like a wall somewhere. Like you only have the one table and it's set against the wall and there is one chair.
This is oddly detailed.
I don't know. That's just the vision that I have to assure myself that that's not how you're going to end up. Hopefully, Polly.
No, it's not. I'm not.
You have friends.
Yeah, I'm not even coming close to doing that. I mean, I'm going to end up making the mushroom ketchup here just because that's where I'm going to have all my fixings and utensils and the like. But I know what's going to end up happening is that people are going to be like, "Oh, why don't you leave the rest of that bottle here?" You know what I mean? You know how people are. What's confusing you, weebs?
No, I think I'm allergic to my eye makeup, and so I keep making these weird faces because like. Feels like there's something in my eye. It also feels like I'm super freaking tired, but I'm not because I took a whole nap this evening. But for whatever reason, just like, I think I'm allergic to my eye makeup because it feels swollen. You ever have that problem, Polly?
No.
Where you're allergic to your eye makeup?
No, I wear strictly vegan makeup.
Doesn't matter. You can be allergic to vegan makeup.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I guess you can't. See, I mean, the way that they test makeup and perfumes is like to squirt it in pigs' eyes and shit and see if anything like it causes any puffiness. And so, like, how do they test vegan makeup to make sure it's not going to like sear your eyes right out of your head?
And test it on humans, obviously.
So what, they like pay people to see if they're going to have allergic reactions?
It's potential. We have human guinea pigs for a lot of things. Video games, energy drinks.
Well, video games, that's completely different. I'm talking about like stuff that could kill your ass.
Yeah, well, the vegans be crazy. They brand themselves, Polly.
That's right, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, some of them do.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were willing to take that risk to save some poor little piggy. It's eye cancer. No, it's not. It's not cancer. It's in both eyes, and it happened today simultaneously. It's not eye cancer.
You know what I think is going on with veganism?
What's going on with veganism?
I think that there's a core of misanthropy in it that people aren't calling out.
Okay, explain. I'm intrigued.
You don't know what the word means, or you're wondering how I associate?
No, I mean like how you make that association.
They don't like people. They're a bunch of misanthropes. That's what's in their what's at the core of their love for, don't harm an animal, and I'd shoot a human being in the face before I ate a cow. Like,
I don't think. Maybe.
I think there's a strain of misanthropy running through their weirdness.
Not all vegans. But no, I think maybe there's like to a degree, you might be right. And I think it might just be because people are so disenfranchised with the way that the current world exists as it does. They are so angry because people do horrible things to each other and to animals and to the rainforest and to take your pick fancy, whatever, right? And so they need to be able to blame something for that. And the easiest way to do that is just full on humans, full stop. That's it. When in fact, you can be very selective about which humans are assholes and which ones are not. And even then, there's disputes between the masses, So I don't know if it's misanthropy for every vegan. Certainly not every vegan. But I also think that they just genuinely want to protect the humans and want to be as eco-friendly / animal-friendly as possible, There are those sects as well, but they are a vocal minority. Or no, not a vocal minority. They are a silent majority, whereas the vocal minority are the militaristic, anti-human vegan types. They're the ones that you hear about because they're so extreme, because they're so ridiculous.
Well, let's be clear. Vegans themselves are an extreme minority. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, duh.
I think they get this impression about themselves like, we're everywhere. No, you're really not.
Mm-hmm. Side tangent, just before we go. Thank you to why are we so sideways? We're so sideways. Thank you to Duck Dog for the $2 over on the super chats. 1 for it's Sunday, 2 for Monday. I really hope it's not Monday, because I have work tomorrow. Yay. I'm so not hyped about that. Or wait, what are we talking about? Does it have something to do with something else?
What?
Did I read that correctly? 1 for it's Sunday, 2 for it's Monday. Does that have deeper meaning?
Not that I'm aware of.
Am I that drunk already?
I'm there with you if you are, because I'm not really.
They'll explain it in the chat. It's fine. But yeah, no, vegans.
I'd like to debate a vegan.
What kind of vegan? Because there are several different kinds.
Oh, whichever one. Like the ones that Monkey debated. The ones that Monkey sat by and slapped the shit out of Lauren Chen. Monkey was oddly not as vocal as I've known Monkey to be in that not debate, discussion, whatever you want to have it over on Roaming Millennials channel. It was Ask Yourself was there, Vegan Gains, creepy fucking weirdo was there.
I don't recall this. Maybe I didn't see it. Someone link it to me and I'll watch it.
And and I got it because it was Vegan Gains felt more quiet than usual. It was really going on between Roman Millennial and Ask Yourself. And the reason why Vegan Gains is always asking Ask Yourself to show up places because he's a much better debater and a much more I was about to call him rational. He's rational points in pursuit of an irrational goal. But I like to debate him not for the sake of let's eat meat, for the impracticality of their position. It's like you're trying to I mean, Weebs, you get this stuff, right? It's like we shouldn't eat meat. Why? Because it causes suffering. Okay, why? I mean, why do you care about that? Because suffering
causes suffering. If that's the case, then we might as well just commit mass suicide because living causes suffering.
You actually have to work their premise out of them, though, where it's like, as moral actors, we can stop suffering, and suffering is bad in and of itself. It is intrinsically bad, and as moral actors, we have the ability to cause it or stop it from happening because we're aware of its existence. And it's a moral wrong to cause suffering if you can stop it. Therefore, eating meat is bad because it causes suffering in animals. And it's like, okay, but that being your base premise going ahead, you are impractical as fuck in the way that you're pursuing it. Everybody should immediately give up meat and never eat meat again. It's like, okay, that's not going to happen though. Like at least not soon. Why are you pursuing? It's not to eliminate or reduce industrial farming, which does cause unnecessary animal suffering in a lot of people's opinion, including mine. Yeah, it's unnecessary to do that. You don't push people to eat larger plant-based diet. You don't push people to buy locally. All of these things would greatly reduce animal suffering. It's like, oh yeah, but people are still eating meat. See, that's what I mean. I don't think your goal is to reduce animal suffering at all. I think a lot of you have managed to find your way through to an ideology that allows you to morally denounce other people. I think you like occupying and planting your flag upon the moral high ground and pointing your fucking finger at people. Well, even though you know the ideology that you're espousing and all the fucking time you're wasting whining and bitching online is not going to reduce animal suffering as much as asking people to buy local, regulation on industrial farming, promoting people eating more fruits, vegetables, and grains. That would actually do more than all the whining and bitching on YouTube that you could possibly do. What it lacks, though, is the ability to make you feel better about yourself.
I can see very well your argument, actually. I was a little confused in the beginning there, but yeah, very well-rounded. Because the essence of deindustrializing farming, buying locally from your mom and pop type farm, whatever.
Yeah. There's your
that
free range, you know, like
free
all.
range, you know, your animals aren't as poorly handled or they're not poorly handled until it's time to kill them because one, they're older, two, it's just time to reap that harvest or whatever, right? So if you were attempting to reduce suffering, you wouldn't just say stop eating meat and then go full vegan and eat only the vegan products, because it can still be vegan without animal suffering. But I'm pretty sure
because you've only stopped, like, so, like, let's say you, Weeb, stop eating meat as of today.
Mhm.
What have you actually accomplished? Well, all of the meat that you would have bought, right, will no longer be purchased.
Mhm.
Therefore, you're not taking part in that. And as a moral actor, you're not playing that role. How much animal suffering have you actually reduced, though? See what I mean?
But here's the other thing. If you also switch your diet from strictly, you know, just omnivorous to strictly vegan, and you go full on soy, alternative protein sources as well, you become a part of that industrial process, which has a tendency to, especially now that there's been such a hike in that over the last couple of years because people want to eat more healthy, eat more keto, eat more whatever. Because they go for those alternative wheat, grain, protein substances to such an extent, to such a degree, those sources are actually more harming the environment as well. So you're counterbalancing exactly what it is that you want to do. So you have to clear an entire field in order to grow a crop that is essentially getting rid of an entire habitat for an animal.
Oh yeah, all the insects and woodchucks that live there and everything else, and then you know it's destroying the soil to constantly reap from that soil. And you got people up in chat saying locally farm or farm for yourself. It's fulfilling and plus more nutritious, and you're not destroying the soil by industrial farming, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, they're not actually reducing animal suffering by the things that they're promoting. It would be more practical, and that would be my entire argument. I'm not like, yeah, but you are playing a part in it by consuming animal flesh. And it's like, look, I'm pursuing off of the original basis for your argument is to reduce animal suffering. Use a moral actor, have an obligation to do so if you can. I agree. And the way that you're pursuing it is foolhardy and not remotely effective. What are you going to do? You're going to convince, like, what, 15 people in your life to be vegans? How much animal suffering have you reduced?
Nada.
That's as opposed to a whole bunch of you exposing what's going on with industrial farming, keeping chickens in tiny little cage coops and all of that shit. That might promote regulation and to shut that stuff down. And people are going to have to get comfortable with paying more, but you pay more per pound of meat. So you're not having steroid chicken and all that other stuff. I mean, there's lots of fucking things you could do and promote in that way. And people bring up 300 million years of evolution eating meat. Yeah, don't come at them that way. Again, you don't want to see animal suffering because it's bad. Cool. People are still going to eat meat. You don't want to take part in it. But again, did you want to stop animals from being raised specifically for food and being treated horribly during their short, miserable lives? You not eating meat and diving through dumpsters ain't going to accomplish that, dumbass.
What happens to all the animals once we stop? If hypothetically we were to live in a world where we stopped raising animals to be just food for us, right? What happens to all those animals if we just let them run out into the wild? De-domestication on such a large, massive scale would have grotesquely more adverse effects for that animal population than we will ever.
But remember, the whole thing is moralization, right? The end goal for them, that is my base assumption or assertion. What they're doing is more based in yelling and screaming online and getting together with their fellow vegans saying, in a mutual admiration society, oh, we're moral. Oh, God, we're so moral. Well, moral, am I right? Oh, you're so right. Like that. Yay. Look at all the animal suffering that's been reduced.
You can't just reverse natural selection the way that it has produced itself to what it is that we're looking at today. So
we got fat, unwieldy cows, like you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because we bred them for that specific purpose.
Exactly.
You bring that up to a vegan, and I have heard it brought up to vegans, and they say, well, that's our impact upon society. See, we've done that. We're like, right. Look at you moralize.
How do you fix that?
Yeah, pointing your fucking finger, you impractical bastard. You haven't really done anything.
You want them, because that's exactly how you just make an entire species go extinct, is you take away the thing that they have grown to habituate to over their long periods of evolution.
Zombie Teddy brings up a good point. It's like he's not going to debate me because of the amount of subs that I don't have. Yeah, no. But I mean that. But isn't that the point? And that goes to what I'm saying. What is your goal online? Ask yourself. It's to fucking moralize from the moral high ground, and the best way to do that is to have as many people hear you as possible. It's an endeavor online. It's SJWism in terms of functionally what they're up to on a minute to minute, hour to hour basis when they're doing their activism, is taking a spot online and moral brigading people. You're wrong for doing this, and I exist on a higher plane of ethics that you don't understand, lowly scum. Whatever.
I don't like having ethics debates on what is more moral than what is not, because everyone's idea of what is moral, what is ethical is always contingent upon someone else's idea, or they're always different because according to Caleb Balick, there are like 8 different schools of moral thinking, right? Or 9 or 10. I don't know. I've never taken an ethics class, so I don't know. You just pick up things from him whenever he starts to debate me about stuff. And then I kind of tune out a little bit. Because I like to argue facts and studies and things that you
You're on
present to people.
What are you doing with facts?
Facts, studies, that's like half of my appeal, Polly. The other half is this. This. I'm familiar. Also, like,
wow.
1/3 maybe has to do with the fact that I'm a little bit funny for a woman. Let's be honest.
A little bit funny for a woman.
Well, because women can't be funny, Polly. So
I've heard this.
Yeah. Women can't be funny. It's impossible. Not even the slightest is it possible. Not a bit.
So let's move on from
Yes, Polly, I assigned you homework. Did you do it?
Oh, what Shades of Indifference? What the fuck was the name of it?
Pride and Prejudice. Oh my god.
Pride and Prejudice, right.
Where the fuck did you pull that name? Polly. Polly, please. Did you do your homework or not, Polly?
I did not.
Polly! Wow, that was really aggressive. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean it. It was so loud.
I was like the other day, I whenever I can't remember the name of something, I just like try to take an impression off of it and just say the closest thing to it.
I wasn't anywhere near that.
I was trying to remember the name of Charlie's Angels, that the new one that just flopped, and I was like, that movie just came out that flopped. Three Preposterous Bitches. What's it called? That didn't go over well because there were several women sitting around when we were talking. They're like, "What did you just call it?" I was like, oh, come on, man, that movie's preposterous. It's just.
You didn't do your homework, Polly. You had an extra week.
I forgot, honestly.
Forget something so important like homework.
You know what's become clear to me though when it comes to Shades of Indifference?
You mean Pride and Prejudice?
That's the one.
Yeah.
What? It's like, oh, you got to watch this one. You got to watch that one. And people are like, no, you got to watch the A&E miniseries was the last one that I heard about in a comment section for Comic Book Curation of all places. Like,
really?
Yeah.
And despite that reminder in your own comment section, you could not bring yourself to do the homework.
I'm just saying there's a divided opinion upon which Shades of Indifference edition I should be watching. So remind me again, what's the one with Keira Knightley was the one with the sexy woman?
It's the 2005 version.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to
write yourself a reminder, put it on a sticky note, tape it to your ceiling fan or whatever it is that you use to remind yourself of things.
2005, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Amazon to
Mhm.
purchase it now.
Good.
I'm totally legitimate sources.
Mm-hmm.
10 gigs. Fuck, that's huge. I don't need that high of a quality.
Polly started his homework, then he looked at the liquor cabinet and got distracted. No, he didn't even get to that part. He hasn't bought the movie yet. You know, you could probably pirate it online illegally. I'm sorry, through an open source website that allows people to view things at their leisure. Yep, that's how we do things.
Oh, motherfucker.
What?
I had a problem at the Amazon website where I was purchasing it. Because I don't torrent. I don't know what you're talking about. That was just that'd be illegal. That's Italian English subs.
Oh, actually, yeah. Put a sticky note on your alcohol. That's how you remember how to do it. Yeah.
Didn't you have homework yourself?
Yeah, I do, but I haven't had time to do it because I actually have legit homework, like my thesis, which also you said you were going to read and you never did.
What was the
town?
No, I read it. I read it.
The whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you hand it in already?
Yeah, I had to hand it in on Thursday afternoon. You read the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
The whole gosh darn diddly thing?
Fucking right.
Did it make your eye twitch? Because, you know, you're like academic and stuff.
Well, there's some words that weren't words in there, but
there were words. Effortfully was a word. You said so last night. I saw that comment. You confirmed it.
Effortfully. I take it that you don't run Word with
no, I don't have Word.
Turned on.
I use Google Docs, and probably that is a mistake.
Oh my God, you write in Google Docs?
Yeah.
Damn, weebs, why?
Because I can go back and forth between my two devices that way.
No, okay, I absolutely get that. I understand, like the universal availability cloud service. I can understand the advantages there, but why aren't you working in Word and then doing auto updates to your Google Docs?
Because I'm poor and I don't have the money to pay for.
No. You can set that up free of charge.
Oh, that's right. You were supposed to help me with that too. And then we never got around to. Yeah, remember we had this whole like late night help Weebo get free Microsoft. Yes, I have it right here. We were using the fun thing.
Oh, you don't have Word at all?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm remembering all of this now. See, I drink.
See, I also drink, but I remember things. See, there's a difference between you. You drink and you know things.
Right. And never got back to me. And even though, that's right. That's right.
So we'll have to get that squared away over the break.
Well, why aren't you using Open Office then?
What's that?
It's like it's an open source knockoff of Microsoft Office.
Does it also have?
It's high quality. I'm not even trying to dismiss it. Like if you don't have access to MS Word or you want spreadsheets or a PowerPoint Creator or whatever, and you don't have Office, fuck it, use Open Office. Thousands and thousands of people use it. It's really great software considering that it's open source. It's really effective.
Okay, well, I will look into that, but presently I haven't a use for it given the fact that the semester is kind of over. And so now I'm just studying like a mad woman for all of my finals.
Oh, God. I'm so happy I never have to write. Well, hold on. That's not true.
Yeah,
I'm so happy that I'm done with finals for a while. I'm going to knock out a couple of quick master's degrees here and there as time goes on.
Here, there, everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, you're just going to get a whole bunch of master's degrees?
Well, there's certain things I want to study. Yeah. Don't
you have one already?
Yeah.
You need another one?
Sure. Not in the same field.
Polly, is this an excuse to prolong your alcoholism without calling it alcoholism?
Isn't everything.
That's fair.
No, it's just, after you write a master's thesis, like I remember when I was in my master's program, a bunch of the doctoral students were saying like, You know, you make such a big deal of your thesis because it's your thesis and it's inevitable. It's natural. You can't look at it as just an extended term paper. You look at it as your fucking magnum opus, and you totally exaggerate what you should be doing and how you should be doing and how you should be going about it and so forth. Looking back on it, you're like, oh my God, I could have slimmed this down, did this in this way. Why didn't I dedicate all of this work towards this thing? All of my term papers for my coursework should have been dedicated toward, you know, all of this. So when I say like bang out a quick thesis or a quick master's degree, yeah, doing another master's program over again, it would be lean, mean, and efficient, man. I could get it because I've been through a graduate program of that level once already. So
yeah,
now it would just
like it's in a different field, right? Presumably.
Yeah.
So it's not 100% the same.
No, it's not the same, but I mean, it's your approach to it and how you do it and so forth. I mean, when you're picking your if you're thinking about a master's program or a graduate program of any kind, oh, the key now there it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, if you're looking for a master's program, you got to talk to me. Take the benefit of my cynical knowledge, where it's like, I mean, like, don't do this, look for programs that are like this. If they're not giving you a full scholarship and a stipend, well, fuck them, go to the, you know,
Do you have to have a full scholarship and a stipend in order to actually make it somewhere, though? Right? Like,
to make it somewhere? What do you mean?
I don't know, just to go to a master's program?
Well, no, you can pay for it if you want. But
Yeah.
I mean, but why would you pay for it if you don't have to?
Maybe because, I don't know, Bailick's getting his master's and he's choosing between several different specialty schools for his master's because...
Now, if you have your eye on a particular school or program, maybe that might not be an option.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I'm getting at, kind of.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a particular circumstance or situation. If you get into an extremely prestigious institution and you just want that name brand on your degree, then yeah, that's another way that you might not be able to do it in that way. But after having done,
it's just that it's a very specialized field that he wants to get into, and so there are only a couple of schools that actually offer.
Oh, fair enough.
Education in that specialized field.
Yeah, fair enough. If or just you really want to do it and you expect that you're going to be getting additional awards as you're going along and it would total the same dollar value anyway, then yeah. If the tuition is much lower at one institution than it is at another institution, although that other institution's offering you a scholarship, do you know what I mean? It'll end up being the same dollar value at the end of the day. Well, then yeah. So yeah, there's calculations involved, but
Okay. Yeah, I think I want a job before I actually go to graduate school. Methinks.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I think careers are overrated.
You'd think that, but...
No, and what I mean by that is I don't believe careers exist.
Explain. Actually, hold off on that because I have one thing. Thank you to Connor Johnson for the $2 over on the super chats. What's your favorite Dr. Seuss book? I would have to say Green Eggs and Ham. Just
Same here.
I'm a basic bitch. It's a good
Same
book.
here.
It's a good book, and I had Green Eggs when I was a kid, and it was life-changing. Oh, by the way, guys, this show is brought to you by yourselves, your lovely, lovely selves, through super chat donations and or through Streamlabs donations. And you can find our Streamlabs links, both mine and Polly's, found in the description, linked below. If you just peruse down there, there is also the Discord link, which you will find and you can join. And we have fun, awesome discussions. I haven't been able to do a lot of game nights recently because of the sheer amount of workload, but that will hopefully pick up with more time after I am no longer super busy with all of the things. So enjoy. Sorry, just had to make a brief announcement.
No, that's all right. Shows function by those type of announcements. Makes sense.
Exactly. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Explain why careers are fake, did you say?
Don't exist.
Don't exist. Yes. What? Explain this, Polly.
How would you define a career?
It's a
Series of jobs in the same field?
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody worked as a cashier at a McDonald's and a Burger King and then a Wendy's.
Mhm.
They'd have a career as a cashier.
Well, if you start out as a cashier, you also have the possibility of working your way up through to management of that establishment as well, necessarily.
Okay.
Right? And so I wouldn't say that's necessarily a career as a cashier. That's a career in customer service or food service industry.
So there's an upward mobility aspect to a career then.
There can be. Not necessarily, but there can be that as well. If you do consistently just stick to the, cashier line of work, that can also be your career. I wouldn't detract from that. I wouldn't consider it a fulfilling career, but it is certainly a career nonetheless.
So your definition of a career is so broad that you would consider somebody that only ever worked as a cashier to have a career in cashierism.
Yeah. Just like someone who's only ever worked as a post office mail person, right? They had a career as a postman, or someone who worked their entire career as a fireman. They worked their entire career as a fireman. Just because they had one job their entire life, or one job that was similar to another job, to another job, to another job their entire life, doesn't detract from the fact that that is a career. It's not
So
necessarily.
Let me ask you this.
Maybe,
person gets hired on with Postal Service. So they are a mail carrier for the U.S. Postal Service. And they only ever worked that one job from the first job that they got until the day they fucking retire. Mm-hmm. They only carried mail on the same route every fucking day. Did they have a career in mail carrying?
Yeah.
Like, really, your definition. So,
yeah.
Do you realize that your definition of career is interchangeable with job?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so distinguish.
It can be. There's overlap.
Job or series of jobs from career.
They can overlap. A job is something that you do to get money.
Mm-hmm.
In its simplest form, that's it. A career is something that you do for the duration of your working life that gets you money, that you save with, that you do for a massive duration of your entire life. So if you have a career as a cashier, it means that you probably have been a cashier for the entirety of your career. Now that is probably one single job, maybe, I don't know. Sure, but a job is not necessarily always the same as a career. No. Hang on.
Okay.
Sorry. Ooh, hello.
Don't talk to your drinks.
Okay, all right. There is some overlap between a job and a career.
Okay.
A job just denotes something that you do for money, but it can turn into a career after a long enough amount of time.
See, where my idea that a career doesn't exist comes from is that most people I've encountered do not have nearly that broad of a definition of career. They think of careers as professional in the sense of...
What's professional, though?
Well, see, that's what I mean. After interrogation of the idea, it becomes clear that there is an element of prestige associated with a career, which is why
prestige.
They would not consider a cashier, a series of jobs as a cashier, to be a career. Because it's like, no, those are just jobs. That's not a career.
Well, that's your own perception coloring what you think the meaning of a word is.
That's what I'm saying. When I encounter people, a lot of the time, they have this idea like a career is like a certain amount of prestige is associated with the job. You're working in an office, you move up, there's upward mobility, you're going to be wearing that sort of thing. And I'm like, I don't know that, I guess somebody say, I'm anxious to get my career started. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It just kind of seems like a series of jobs in the same field. And I'm not really all caught up in the prestige of this or that. I mean, I've just met so many people that just love their job titles. And I'm just not mixed up in all that. So I've always taken the thing of, I don't know. I've come to see people talking about their own careers and this is going to be really good for my career. You mean it's going to give you like an opportunity to get a higher paying job? Yeah. So that's all you're really talking about, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's just they use this sort of like illustrious, inflating, polishing language in and around it. And really what they're talking about is the prestige of the positions that they're moving through and how they want other people to view them in that in their occupation, whatever it is.
This sweater, I swear to God, is the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever bought. I'm never touching it again.
The one you're currently wearing?
The one that I'm currently wearing. There's like fuzzies all over and it keeps riding up on my neck. So I'm just like...
But it does have a sternum window.
It does. That's why I got it, actually. Because I have another shirt that looks like this that's just as cute, but not as uncomfortable. Anyway, I think it's because people have a tendency to look down on jobs that they themselves wouldn't want to do for the rest of their lives, whereas some people can do something like that for the rest of their lives and not have it be a problem. It really depends on the person. I mean, it depends on what you want to do with the rest of your life, right? So, like, some people really like working in the food service industry. I'm not one of those people, but I do it just because I need a little bit of extra spending money for whatever odd reason. You know, maybe I need to buy a textbook here or there. Maybe I need to get some more laundry detergent. Hey, I have some money. Here we go. But it's not something to be looked down upon necessarily because you wouldn't do it yourself. And I'm not saying that you're saying this. I'm just saying that you are describing people who believe that a career has to have an air of prestige, where that prestige is really just their own perception of what it is that makes something better for them, makes something respectable for them, makes something more, not more unattainable, but something that's a goal to work forwards and upwards towards.
See, Zombie Teddy gets where I'm coming from on this. Like, we might not agree on the particular thing, but the sentiment, I think we're coming from the same place. He said, a job is something you hate temporarily. A career is something you can hate for life.
No, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
No, man, I fucking hear you. That's fucking brilliant. I'm filing that one away for later use. And Pincalo's an interesting dude because I've talked with him in like in Google Hangouts, like after a stream or something, and he's not nearly as angry of a man as he seems in chat.
Yep.
In chat, he's always using capital letters to emphasize things, where a lot of people use that to yell. Like, if you just read Pincalo's chats, he's always like, and like, he's not actually nearly that yelly of a guy. He's a lot nicer than he may seem. It's interesting.
Sorry, I just took off my shoes and my socks because it's hot in here.
Of all potato thing, you're arguing that a word that has a subjective definition doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There's no substance to it. Like, I'm just like, you're it's on a conversational level. I'm not saying it doesn't have an epiphenomenal existence. I think it does, because you can locate it spatially and temporally. You know, say there's an example of a career. I mean, if you want to get all philosophical with it, everything only exists in like the Platonic world of forms. But I don't think that's what you meant. I think we were trying to have a generalized, laid-back, half-drunken conversation. And in that way, people in their idea of like, oh, well, this is a career kind of thing I was pursuing off of, where there's that element of prestige associated with it. I'm like, oh, come on, man. That's just a story you're telling yourself. Because you think that people are looking upon you as having a job in a field to be admired, or look at them with their career. And I'm like, man, that's just a story you've spun for yourself, man. That doesn't really exist. It's not a thing you've obtained in the way you've obtained, the way you would obtain a job, like a given employment at a given place, or the way you would obtain a degree or whatever, or a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube. Those are obtainable things. Have you obtained a career? Well, for the people that I'm talking about, only if other people go, wow, I really am envious that you're a career woman. You know,
what does that mean? Kind of thing. Career woman. That means you're going to work for the rest of your life until you retire and then pick up sewing? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get cats.
Assuming that's what you want. Maybe people want dogs. Probably. I don't know.
See? Pincalo right here. He's like, yelling has always been defined as italics in capital letters. See, is that kind of sharp?
Pincalo, and you need to calm down.
I'm being mischaracterized here. I'm being maligned. This is awful.
It's fine. Polly, stop pissing off our audience.
Oh, Piccolo is great. It's just, it's like I said, believe it or not, he's an extremely friendly man.
Doesn't a career woman mean someone who doesn't have kids or leave it till really late to have kids? Says Reachout 8181. I think I said that right. I'm sorry. I apologize if I didn't. Yeah, I think career woman has a different connotation than just someone with a career inherently does, right? It denotes a woman who has put her career above everything else in life. Which
I remember I pissed off my ex-girlfriend by doing that career woman thing unintentionally. I was like, "Wow, you're kind of a career woman," and she goes, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Well, you've prioritized it over, relationships and other life things." And I didn't even mean it badly because she did and does, and she just kind of like looked at me and went, "You think so?" It's like I just called her like a miserable, cold-hearted bitch or something.
Well, okay, here's the other thing too, right? Maybe she didn't realize that that's exactly what she'd done. Maybe that's not what she necessarily wanted for herself for her entire life, and that's why it was just like I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? She came to the sudden realization that, yes, this is the case, and your biological clock is ticking, which is such a fun thing to hear from people.
Well, no, okay,
not that I have.
Yeah.
Too young for that nonsense.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe she did have that moment of realization, but why did it have to be over that? Not when I told her she was a incessantly self-regarding bitch.
Well,
why couldn't she have had a moment of realization over that? She might not be an ex-girlfriend under those circumstances.
Polly, I feel like this conversation topic is a little personal for you. Polly, yeah, I think you have some pent-up resentments there. Just a little bit.
And Carlo, like 5 minutes later, and really, I come off as angry? ?
Now you're just goading him on.
No, I'm just saying. It's you know what chat lacks? YouTube chat lacks the ability to, like Discord has, to do asterisks around things to make them italicized, emboldened, or both. That would be a really sweet function inside
you
of YouTube
can
chat.
Bold stuff in the comment section, but not in a live chat, unfortunately.
Oh shit! Speaking of, I'm on top chat.
You should probably switch.
You have to turn that off or on.
Polly, apparently we're fucking Zoomers. Are you a Zoomer? I thought you were a millennial. Is that not the case?
What?
You're a millennial, right?
Yes. I don't know. The number fluctuates. I was under the impression I was.
Well, yeah. Okay. So it stops. The cutting off point is 1995 for millennials, and then it picks up as Zoomers, and that's what Zoomers, Zers, Zers. Although technically I am a Zoomer. Let's be honest. Come on, people. But
I don't know. Are you? Is that the dates that change every 5 fucking seconds when some jackass online says so? I don't know.
There are a few dates that are regarded as standard. And the way that they were explained to me, generational cutoffs they have to do with like important century events. The reason why it's so sketchy for millennials is because there's not really a good life event or century event. There's a good cutoff point and a good starting point for when they begin and when they end. And so it just became every 25 years. That's the new generation.
And I mean, that's fine. Everybody who thinks about it for more than 5 seconds is going to go, wait a minute. Somebody who's, if every 25 years, somebody who's like, 24 and 1 year old, do they not have a wildly different experience from each other? Aren't these like largely, by definition, nothing but arbitrary assignments because we consider this or that cultural event to blah, blah. Yeah, it's all just a bunch of yarns that people have spun in a way to make conversation convenient. And I'm generally fine with it. It's just people take it to be like, I don't know, like as of a certain date, you're a new production line of human, which is just, no.
Okay, so the lost generation is 1890 to 1915.
Mhm.
The youngest age today is 104, with the oldest being 129. We don't care about them though, because they're probably all dead. The interbellum generation is 1901 to 1913,
Mhm.
which means that the interbellum generation and the lost generation have an overlap of about like 10, 11, 12 years. All right. The greatest generation also has an overlap with both the lost generation and the interbellum generation, 1910 to 1924. The silent generation, 1925 to 1945. Baby boomer generation, 1946 to 1964. That's my dad's generation. Zennials. All right.
Whatever.
Exennials. I don't know. 1975 to 1985. Millennials, 1980 to 1994. iGen or Gen Z is 1995 to 2012.
What happened to Gen X in there? You jumped right over them.
I think that's Zennials.
Yeah, that's see what I mean? It's like, oh, we're gonna come with some things and change some dates, and oh, you needed to justify your research grant and wrote a paper arguing this garbage. Right.
And then Gen Alpha. 2013 to 2025.
Here, I got a pitch for you, Weebs. This is more
Give it to me.
This is more interesting than their made up fucking dates. I saw this picture and I thought of you. I'm like, I'm gonna save that for Weebo. She'll find
you
that
think of me?
Well, hold on. Don't feel warmly about it yet, because it's
What have you done?
There we go.
Wrong mouse. I have two on the table. Okay, what about this?
Just look at that picture for a second.
Why is she staring at that other woman's tits? Also, who are these people?
It doesn't matter. What do you mean? Why is she staring at that woman's tits? Like, I love this picture so much. Like, this is taken back in, I don't know what, 30s, 40s, 50s. I'm going to guess 50s, early 50s. And it's immortalized forever. This relatively flat-chested woman staring in anger and resentment and bitterness at this other woman who damn near has her tits hanging out on the table. That is the lowest cut dress. It just...
I don't...
Look at the salt. Look at the fucking salt on this woman.
Oh my God. I have to say, as a woman with, large breasticles, I don't get the envy that women have for larger breasts. I'd rather have the small teats, right? Because then I can fit into things a lot easier and I can maneuver easily. Also, side tangent.
You guys are chat's awesome. Duck Dog and Lion Patriot and everyone. This is Jane Mansfield, jealous, and Sophia Loren giving the fucking evil eye. Great. I did not know who those people were, and that's I thought the day would have been right then, right? Early 1950s it'd have to be to have the two of those together at the kind of the peak of their career and so forth. Yeah.
I guess. Polly, I'm trying to do something for the viewership here. All right. All right. No,
I just remember and I thought of you because you made such a big hairy deal of that one picture that I brought up of Scarlett Johansson in her boob popping dress when we were doing the what's going on over there, Weebs?
I'm trying to do something here. I gotta read a super chat. And you're just like, no, power through. I have things to say. No one listening to me.
Oh, just start talking. I'll be quiet if you
All
like.
Right. Thank you to Lion Patriot for the $3 over in the super chat for the funny little cat thingy emoji thingy. Someone clip that maybe. I don't know. Do what you got to do. I don't judge. Okay, now you can have a conversation with me.
Oh, awesome.
Small boobs are awesome. Thank you, Duck Dog. I would like to have some of those. Yeah, and they are easier on your back. They are.
It's the attention. That's the jealousy I figure is rooted in.
Yeah, it
attention. Well, it's not just
it's
not just attention. It's the confidence in it, I guess. Like
the what?
The confidence knowing that you can garner that attention.
Yes. I guess. I don't know. But not everyone's big selling point is the big boobies, right? Some people are not tits men. They are ass men, right?
Yeah, I don't believe in dividing women up like that. It's like, are you a tit man or an ass man? If it was just a disembodied ass, I wouldn't be particularly interested. So it's part of a package, clearly.
I don't know, Polly. I was there when you were judging Marvel women.
No, but they were all part of a package. And I made that point in that video, actually.
But you pointed out the tits an awful lot for some of those pictures.
Well, it was tits on particular women that I was pointing
And then
at.
you made a point of being like, I have a thing for brunettes. Which is definitely a reduction in the whole woman.
Oh, please. It's there's certain women that are more that they're better presented as a blonde as opposed to, dyeing their hair one color or another. It's like Scarlett Johansson, for example. What is it with you always dyeing your hair blonde? You're a fucking redhead.
Is she really naturally?
Yeah, like strawberry blonde, whatever you want to call it. Like it's not like platinum blonde, like she's constantly dyeing her hair. What is it with you? Oh, because you think you're fucking Marilyn Monroe. That's what's going on. You realize you're a little thick and you've got them rounded proportions, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna dye my hair platinum blonde. Because every woman after fucking Marilyn Monroe wants to be Marilyn Monroe when they're a little bit thick. Looking at you, Beyonce.
So I take it you're not a big Beyonce fan.
No, it's just no, I'm not actually.
Yeah, neither am I. Girl, who run the world? That took like 12 different producers to make.
Oh Jesus, yeah. 12 different producers to make the song and 15 different makeup experts. And it's like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't like Beyonce. I'm just saying, when you say I'm a fan of Beyonce, what you're saying is I like her 300-person team. And the unified effort that they put forth that is embodied in the personage of Beyonce Knowles. That's the project they've all worked on, including her. Okay, and I mean, let's not the PR experts and what you're going to say and when you're going to say it and when stuff's going to go up on your social media and when you're going to drop albums and the things you're going to say in interviews and who's going to get to interview you and your posture and all these other, she's a completely contrived, manufactured thing. And I'm not saying you can't like that. I'm just saying what you're liking is the end product of all of their efforts.
Yeah, and I get it. Some people have a deep, unwavering love of Beyonce and all things Beyonce. And Yeezy, maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, talent knows talent. And we can recognize when it is that a person actually has it versus when they're just a big cacophony of everyone else's efforts. Do you like my word of the day usage right there, Polly? Cacophony?
I don't know. I don't know if that word makes sense in that sense.
No, it makes sense.
It's a big, large
cacophony.
Noise. Like cacophony is a confusing torrent of things all at once. It's a loud white wall of noise.
A harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Yeah, that sounds like Beyonce.
Oh, is that what you're actually going for?
Yes, Polly.
Because you said people who love Beyonce are happy with the cacophony of things. I think you were going for like the large mixture, mosaic of things that make her up kind of deal.
Well, I mean, that can also be included. But yes, Beyonce is a cacophony of harsh, discordant mixtures of sounds to mine ears.
Huh. That's cool. Yes.
My in frame, because I recognize that I didn't set up my cameras very well, and so this has been awkward. The next 6 minutes, thank you for the $3.14 over on the Streamlabs. Good gosh golly, hey Weebs and Polly, here's some cash to help you out a bit with the college monies. Everyone help this girl out with the college monies. Buy her merch, bruh. If Polly has merch, buy his merch, bruh. Bro hugs and high fives, fam. That is a good point. You should definitely buy Polly's merch if Polly has any merch. If not, then definitely donate to Polly because we need to upgrade his au gratin. Did I get that right?
It is an au gratin. That's true.
I did it. This is not okay. I said this was moonshine, and it's moonshine, but it's not nearly as strong as the wine for whatever reason. Or maybe I'm just had too much to eat tonight.
Okay, it's meme time. Here, look at this.
It's meme time.
Yeah. These are some of my new favorite memes that are happening. Here, share. There we go.
I haven't liked Beyonce since she dumped the other 2 members of Destiny's Child.
Ooh, Kelly Rowland and the other one.
I don't know a lot about Beyonce. I just know that I don't like her music. I don't know about Destiny's Child. Also, why is it a singular child when there are 3 members of Destiny's Child?
Because the group is the inevitable end of destiny that they were going to come forth. And yeah, other bullshit. Who cares? In Vogue was better. In your face.
Okay. So, Polly, what am I looking at here?
Well, this is a this is an attachment for your AR-15. See over here?
Yeah.
They're narwhal tusk attachment.
Oh, this means Polly, you're about 2.5 years late.
What? No, that's the joke. The narwhal tusk attachment. See,
I know it's the joke, but the possible modifications meme is about 2.5 years out.
I know it's a throwback to an older meme because now there must be assault weapon narwhal tusks. That's because fair. Of the narwhaling.
Oh,
the guy who went on the bridge in London, the terrorist attack. Get it?
That's right. I forgot that happened. You know how long of a week I've had? Polly. It's been a long week. Fucked up.
No, it's fine. As long as you get it now. It's like I'm not just showing you really ancient memes.
I'm like, why are you showing me ancient memes, Polly? Yes, possible modifications, narwhal tusk. That's funny. But why is it? Oh, that's why it's. I need to go to bed. The show is ending at 10, and that's final. Mainly because I need to go to bed. Fuck. I'm gonna die.
Hey, you want to see something funny?
Yes. Give it.
Right here. Look at this.
Try and keep
I stare at this in bafflement and joy.
0 points out of 0 on interior design.
I love it so much. It's so dumb.
Not only is it dumb, it's a suicide trap waiting to happen. Because think about it, right? Where is it most often that you are likely to slip? In the bathroom.
Of course.
Right after you get out of the bathtub. Why? Because you're maneuvering your naked, wet, freaking squeaky clean body out of a tub and you're dripping all over the freaking place. And then you're dripping all over the fucking place right onto the stairs going downwards. And so what happens as a result? You fall down the fucking stairs because you've been dripping all over it with your naked, wet body. And that's how people die. Polly, this upsets me greatly.
Stop trying to engender more donations by talking about your wet, naked, slippery body weebs. I see what you're doing.
I don't know what you're
that's foddery.
That story, that anecdotal, nonsensical rant fest ended with someone dying at the bottom of the stairs, naked, wet, and broken.
Everybody, every red-blooded male in the room just stopped listening as soon as you said.
I didn't even specify that it was my naked wet body. I wouldn't be caught dead taking a bath in that nonsense. That is a death trap waiting to happen, and I am accident prone on the stairwell.
It's great. There's so many problems with it. It's like, so you got to get in the end of the tub is what's going on. You can't get in on the side of the tub. But they bothered to put tile along the side of the tub because, of course, you're going to put tile down there, right? Because water's going to splash. Wait a minute. If water's splashing over the edge of your tub, that means it's splashing down the fucking stairs, too.
Someone is going to die. Use a bath mat, says the next 6 minutes. Yeah, because that's going to help.
Yeah, you need a bath mat that's 4 feet wide and about 4 feet long and about 6 inches wide.
Polly, did you know that when you showed that to me that I was going to get so pissed off?
I know. No, I didn't think you were going to get pissed off, but I thought you were going to see the senselessness of it along with me.
I see the senselessness of it. Are those real stairs or the floor painted to look like it? as
No,
someone else
those
did.
are real stairs.
Ew.
I've got a fascination with ugly rooms and the like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have a whole bunch of pictures?
I do. Yeah.
Ooh, let's play the fun game called Weebo Judges Everything.
Okay, here. Judge. See, so I've got, okay. This picture that I got here, okay, of this woman, and I'm sure I've heard you judge other women, so I'm sure there's a judgment coming here. Just,
Sorry.
yes. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Thick.
Mm-hmm.
Thick. Okay. So this woman here. I was watching some videos last night, and this person has an Instagram, so I went and looked at their Instagram, and this is one of the pictures that's up there, and I'm just like, in addition to thinking of things that a red-blooded male would think upon gazing at this
naturally
stunning creature,
mm-hmm.
I also got an idea for an ongoing video series. I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm toying with the idea. I'm sandboxing it, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And the name of the series is actually the description of the series. I'm thinking of calling it "A White Boy Gives Advice to Black Women They Didn't Ask For."
A white woman. Ooh, I'd be very good at that. First off, woman, get yourself a better fitting. I almost said bathroom top, but that's not what that is. Bathing suit. There we go.
Well, see, the thing that, being a red-blooded male, I find it like entrancing that see this red line that goes down there and then up here, that's a zipper, and it has no hope of being zipped up, and I find that enthralling.
Yeah, but here's the other thing: she's spilling out of the other side of her bra, right?
Hell,
and that
hell,
does not.
Look at that! Look at all that titty.
That cannot be comfortable for you. All right. The amount of support that she needs is not being given. And as a result, she is essentially, just like compressing herself into something that she doesn't fit into. And that's not sexy. There's nothing sexy about that, at least to me, because the moment you take that off, right, you're going to see the fun little lines of compression within her skin because it's been closing in on her so tight. And it's not going to look nice. It's going to look like she was in pain and discomforted. And so as a result, it's less sexy.
See, I would be, I'd like to do this series, but I'd get called racist right away. Where it'd be like,
don't worry about that. That's how you get viewers.
Yeah, it'd be like, who asked you? Well, the name is in the title. See, I was telling Jack about this, right? And he said, no, that name's too long. You need to call it Cracker Tips. And I was, now that's funny. I mean, that's a classic Jack Cochranism right there. That was great. But I want the name to be the full-on description. Again,
because then they can't be like,
a white boy gives advice to black women they didn't ask for. It's every criticism that comes at me. It's like, did you not see the title of this series? Like, it explains everything.
Okay,
yeah,
so what would your advice be for this chick?
Well, my advice for this woman would be the same advice that I would start. I'm guessing 7 or 8 out of 10 of my pieces of advice. Let's talk about your weave. Let's talk about your earrings. Let's talk about your eyelashes.
What about the weave, Polly?
That ain't your hair.
And
it is not necessary. It doesn't look as good as you think.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that you're impressing are other women that wear weave. There are all kinds of white boys out there that are very much into Asian women, black women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You are catching none of their eyes with this long weave.
Polly.
Okay. I have never heard any of my black male friends ever say, holy shit, did you see the weave on her?
Polly.
Okay. The eyelashes. Look at these fake motherfuckers sticking off your eye. Listen, this is not good. It's like, oh shit, you see the eyelashes on that girl? Like, you know, no one's ever said that once ever. Now I get it. It's like, oh, I'm not doing it for you. I'm not doing it for men. I'm doing it for me. No. You're doing it for other women. And don't let them bitches push you into pain. Do you have any idea how expensive weave is to get good weave? You know, Beyonce spends a fucking house mortgage on her fucking monthly weave. Monthly weave. Yeah.
Okay. I need to interject before you go off on another tangent about the earrings because I'm going to forget. If war was completely necessary at any given point in time, women would the only people wearing anything during the summertime would be women wearing like panties for when it is that they have their monthly bleeding, and everyone else would be naked. And then in the wintertime, everyone would be just bundled up in a whole bunch of, stuff.
No, that ain't right. That ain't right. Listen, I'll tell you why.
And then the other thing that I wanted to say is the actual point of getting longer eyelashes is because they make your eyes look a little bit bigger. It's a visual effect that allows for the entrancement of certain men, because men do like doe-eyed, big-eyed women types.
And I'm not saying don't wear. Okay, look, see, you made it sound like I was arguing against the desire to accentuate something, and I'm not. This idea is like, oh, well, you know, motherfuckers should go naked because none of it's necessary. No, I'm not even arguing that. I understand it. It's just the particular weave. It's like black women's natural hair is beautiful on its own. And I don't understand the desire to run with insanely expensive weave that doesn't look nearly as, it's a competitive thing with other black women. They're the only ones that are that impressed by it. Nobody else is. So as long as you're willing to be honest with yourself and say, yes, I'm doing it for the admiration of other hair hats. Like, if you're willing to say that and you're comfortable with that, then I say more power to you. If you're doing it for any other reason, then I'm here to offer the unsolicited opinion of a white boy to say you're playing yourself, you're deluding yourself. If you think that anyone else cares as much as you and your fellow hair hats.
I want to say this. I don't know if necessarily we can wholly attribute a woman's style to that of just solely impressing another person outside, like, of themselves. Because I feel like you first have to pass that step of, do I like what I look like with this style first, before it is that you actually take it out into the rest of the world. Like, sure, you can make that distinction of, would I be caught dead leaving the house like this? But you have to impress yourself first before you actually make the decision to go out into the broader world. And a lot of people do think that they look good in a certain way, in a certain style that they are impressed by. And it's not necessarily that impressive, because a lot of women overline their lips to the mass, and it is it's not attractive. I do not like
and see, and just like the earrings thing. Okay, let's talk about the earrings for a second. If I were to tell this woman, now I've seen her in her videos talk. Okay, she's not what I would describe as ratchet. Okay, and if somebody, like, hypothetically were to call this girl ratchet, I think she would be rightly offended. It would be like, what did you just call me? Right? But them earrings is ratchet. Why would you do that?
Actually, that's cultural appropriation. Hoop earrings are a strictly Latino thing.
Like, I can see the drag, the gravitational drag that those hoops are having on your earlobes. I can see it from here.
No. Hoop earrings do not have a drag unless they are made of, like, the most dense material you could possibly think of, especially ones that are that size. They're not draggy. They just get in the fucking way.
I'm saying, if you're looking off to your right and somebody who's off to your left says, hey, and you turn real quick and your earrings are smacking up against your face, look, hey, there's a lack of practicality in action here. I'm not saying don't accentuate, don't wear, ornamentation and jewels and all that. No, go ahead with it. But this is no, this is no good. I like hoop earrings, but she could wear that as a tiara.
Sure. Okay. Big J Triple X in the chat says that is not a weave. As a black man, he can attest to that fact. And you know what? I'm a little bit skeptical on whether or not that's a weave myself, because I do know that there are some darker skinned women who can achieve that kind of a hairstyle.
Well, she's not all that dark, but the giveaway is up on her Instagram. There she is with her natural hair, and it's like, yeah, that's a weave.
Well, see, I don't have,
I'm
not working off of her Instagram.
She spectacularly bundled all of her natural hair up close to her head, and then the hair that I'm mistaken for her natural hair is in fact a wig. I mean, that's possible. I guess.
Actually, that's entirely likely because what I've seen happen in a lot of cases is that women do have these really tightly fitted wigs to their hair, especially Black women. They have tightly fitted wigs to their hair. And what they do is they bundle up their natural hair to their face, like to their head, as tightly as possible without it being super obvious. And then essentially what they do is they glue the wig down onto their scalp so that it just stays there.
No, I get that, but that would have to be like if Big Jax, I'm assuming it's pronounced Big JXXX, is right that this is her natural hair. That would be an incredible bundling of hair. Like it would be shorter hair that has now been pushed down to the scalp to allow for like a weave or a wig to be put over top of it, or rather a wig to be put over top of it. This is that would be a hell of a lot of hair to bundle up. And like I said, if you look at her Instagram, no, it's her hair changes length like on the regular.
So it might not be.
So thus a strong clue that those pictures were taken at wildly different times, and she's just putting them up in a out of chronological sequence order, or that's some weave.
Can you send me a link to her Instagram?
I can't.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna have to go find it again. Hold on here.
Okay. See, because
don't get me wrong. I want to be clear that is a very, very attractive woman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I say like offers opinions and advice, it's like, who wants to hear that? I realize it's stepping outside of bounds and stuff. It's saucy. It's arrogant. Like, who the fuck are you to be commenting? And I'm like, because I think she's gorgeous, but there's a whole lot of unnecessary things that are going on. It's not don't wear eyelash extensions. It's don't wear eyelash extensions that are that damn long, that obviously fake, and that chunked with mascara. Because that's just, you've taken it to an extreme. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying. Also, okay, so it wouldn't be necessarily bundling of the hair, so much as it would be tightly braiding it close to the scalp, and then whatever extra that they have, just kind of maybe wrapping it around or something to a point where it's less obvious, and then putting the wig on top of that. And so that's probably what has happened, like what has been achieved. Because I went through a phase where I was looking at how Black women did their hair, because I was super curious, because I'd seen for my entire life my mom do a whole bunch of white women hair, and I was super curious as to how Black women got their hair did, because all of their different hairstyles are super interesting, super intricate, and I wasn't at the time 100% sure how exactly they went about doing it, because it seemed like an excessive amount of effort and whatnot, and how you can go from short hair to long hair to whatever. And it turns out, yes, they do use a lot of extensions, but they also use a lot of wigs. They also use a lot of hair product to an excessive degree. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't have fantastic results, but it does take a lot more effort than I think I'd ever be willing to put into my hair. And it probably is some sort of thing within that culture of women that does signal like, hey, I've put a lot of attention to this. This is my hair. This is how I want to express with it. Because I have a tendency to spend some time on my hair. Not going to lie. This does actually happen overnight, but I do have to braid it before it is that I put it, or before I take it out and have nice little beach waves or whatever. Even now it's a little bit falling out and whatnot. But different hair types have different necessary handles.
Okay, real quick before I leave the my thick folder.
Before I leave my thick folder, is that a thick with two seats?
Hold on, let's just appreciate some thickness. Dang.
Yeah. Are those extensions?
Oh yeah, she does have hair. This is not my extension folder. This is my thick folder.
No, I'm taking the piss out. Is it just me, or
just like, whoa, holy shit. Damn.
How is she keeping that dress down? She's got to pull that down at least like 5 times a minute.
Oh yeah. I'd walk around all day watching her do it too.
There's no way on this planet that dress defies elasticity science.
That is a hip hugging, butt hugging dress. There's no question.
And any leg movement of any source is going to ride it up. Trust me, I know these things.
And she's in the middle of a hair toss. You see that?
Mhm.
Damn, this girl knows how to work it too. Okay, hold on. You ready? You ready for the Shazam moment? Shazam! Oh my goodness.
She's got violent hips.
What's that?
I just realized she's got violin hips.
Violent?
Violin hips.
Oh, violin.
So it's where your hips have like a little bit of a dip.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. I have violin hips as well. It's a very Polish thing. But
look at all that jelly.
She's not wearing a bra.
Oh no, she's not.
Oh, I don't.
Anyway, I'm just saying. That's 3 all-star photos in my thick folder.
I'm not a big fan of those kind of dresses. They're just super inconvenient.
You know what? I mean, I know what you mean when you say, like, you know, you could pull that dress down. There's lots of girls I see they're wearing skirts and they spend the whole time extremely self-conscious, pulling it down all the time. And it's
What's
like,
the point?
Well, you just don't look comfortable in it. You look extremely self-conscious in it, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. At that point, just wear a bikini and bottoms. It's fine.
See, I feel bad, like sending this girl's Instagram. Here, I'll put the Instagram side chat, but I don't really think you should. Like, it's one thing to put up one photo. It's another thing to like put up her whole Instagram and be like, oh, let's judge the hell out of this girl. Like, that's not.
No, that's fair. I was just curious because you said that she's got like different hair lengths and whatnot, and so I just wanted
different hair lengths and textures and colors, and it's their photos that are.
Says to me that she wears a wig. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying this woman's her eyes and her body shape and her entire facial construction, beautiful lips, nose, eyes, everything. Like, she's just got it going on. I don't see the need for all that fakery is what I'm saying, you know. Mm-hmm. See, this entire series that I want to do, Cracker Tips, it's not coming from a negative place. It's coming from a very positive place.
I got you. Yeah, definitely a wig. Which is entirely feasible from what I know. Polly must have a ton of lotion handling.
That Rich says Jack would not approve of these thighs and the stomach.
No, he would.
Oh yeah, this is like anti-thigh gap. You know what I mean? This is high friction thighs, and I'm okay with that.
Men have a preference. Let me tell you, high friction thighs are actually a lot more of a hassle than you'd want them to be. All right, you know how often I go through pairs of pants? Because there's no thigh gap there. And so every jean that I've ever owned has always ended up the exact same way, with a nice little crotch hole right where the thighs rub against each other. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, see, you know, people are like to each his own, and Pete's like, yeah, that's not my thing. I'm like, to each his own is the important thing. It's like, thank God we're not all attracted to the same woman, or it'd be 7 billion men all chasing after one girl, and who wants that?
Exactly.
That's
so it's a blessing and a curse.
And what's more than that?
Agree.
Here's this body type. Okay, like there's the thin little athletic 110-pound gymnast figure, which can be hot as hell. That's very attractive. And then there's also like Queen of the Bass that I was just showing you there. Like there's lots of different body types. That's they're definitely attractive, and all those women can be healthy. I get off the train at the stop of in terms of body positivity, because it's like you're just promoting unhealthy weight with some women, where it's like that person sweats when they eat and when they walk up and down a short flight of stairs. That is not being positive. You don't want to encourage people in that.
I want to be able to put my hands between her thighs when they're cold, says Dog. That's actually, you jest, but you laugh, Polly, but that's actually really, really warm space.
Putting your hand between your woman's thighs?
Well, like just putting your hands between your thighs in general. It's like centralized body heat. It's like when you put your arms underneath your hands underneath your armpits to keep them warm or whatever.
See, now you're talking, Weebs. Everyone sees what you're doing. It's so transparent. What? You're wet and slippery, stepping out of tubs. You got your hands up in your crotch.
No, All of this is perfectly innocent, Polly. You're just making it a whole lot more sexual than it needs to be. Shame on you. I am a sweet, innocent child of the Lord. All right?
This is transparent thottery, girl. You need to.
I am being. Hang on. I fucked up. I fucked up. There we go. Okay. All right. Nope. I fucked up again. Okay. There we go. Thank you to Unholy. No, I'm still kind of off. Fuck it. Whatever. Unholy Raptor, thank you for the donation over on the Streamlabs. I always give Polly Sinatra and Monkey love. So time for Weebo. Aww. Thank
Yay.
you. And also
Yeah, crazy
from
generous.
Shield Gorath.
Always appreciated.
Thank you on the super chats. Shoulder dislocation 17 can spare you a joke for me. What? Can you spare a joke? Shoulder dislocation 17. Can you spare a joke for me? Is that a... Are you making fun of my shoulder dislocating itself? Just at random? I feel like you are. I don't have a joke. Not ready. I'm too drunk for this nonsense. And Weebo is not a perv confirmed. Nuh-uh. This is a wholesome channel.
You missed the comma there. It's Weebs is a perv confirmed. It's like Weebs is not a perv confirmed. That's all one sentence.
No, Weebs is not a perv confirmed.
I don't know.
Oh, you dislocated your shoulder, Shio. Sorry. Well wishes for your shoulder dislocation, and I know exactly how you feel because it sucks balls, and I do it all the time, and I have to relocate it all the time. It's a bad time. My dislocation prone shoulder happened again. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's much into moonshine.
Okay, I got a question. What is the weaker, lamer form of so-called content? React videos, where 3/4 of you is the screen, with down in the bottom corner watching somebody else's video and just straight up reacting to it. Is that the weaker, lamer form of YouTube content? Or gameplay with no commentary whatsoever?
Ooh.
Chat, what do you think? I'm curious.
I'm going to say React videos because you do less in those.
You do, yeah, because you're not even playing a game, for God's sake.
Yeah, you are not even making the base amount of effort that playing a game takes to actually get through it, whereas a game takes a little bit of effort to finish. You know, even if you are shit at commentary over the game that you're playing, you can get better at that. There's no going up from reaction videos. Although,
it is so low on the effort scale. Like when you look at somebody's channel and they are a influencer, whatever, over on Instagram, and they got a YouTube channel, and their content, when you go to the video section on their channel, and every single fucking thumbnail is exactly the same thing. It's their stupid face, and in the bottom right hand corner, whatever video they're reacting to. Just an entire field of the same kind of thumbnails. It's, God damn, this is lazy.
it is. It really is.
Because you can't think of anything else to do. And I'm looking at you, Pokimane.
Speaking of thoughts.
Yeah. It's like, because she's the trifecta, superfecta rather. She just does all the lazy content. I'm gonna be cute in front of the camera with all kinds of makeup on, and I'm gonna giggle and call guys sweetie, and then I'm gonna play video games badly, but no one's gonna tell me that because I'm a cute girl and I got like kind of anime plushies behind me. Oh my God, look, it's a stuffed Pikachu over there in the bottom corner of the room. And then when I can't play the video games because I'm eating, I'm gonna put videos on and react to them. Still send me money though, because I'm super cute, okay? Oh, fuck you, woman.
I don't like Pokimane because she gives women on the internet a bad name. Because, okay, I got...
Every time I go to log into fucking Streamlabs, there's that stupid face of hers with throwing up the peace symbol. Peace for what? What are you doing? Peace, I'm Pokimane. Oh, shut up.
Yes, no, I am not enthused with the prospects of Pokimane at all in any capacity. Because it falls back on me, right? I try to shield myself out, and then people are always like, what sets you apart from all of the other commentary thoughts on the internet? I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I don't know, the amount of effort that I put into my fucking videos. How about some of the actual editing that I put in there too? It's a little bit more clever than you will see on any basic commentary channel. How about the level of research that I put into a video? Yeah? Do you think that that might set me apart from other people? How about the fact that I fucking source all of this nonsense too on some level? You ever think of that? I think about what it is that I'm going to say greatly and in detail before I actually say it, because I script things before I actually film things. But somehow that's also a detraction, because you're supposed to be able to be funny and intellectual right off the cuff. But no. And so, everyone just discounts me, doesn't give me the benefit of the doubt in the fact that, maybe I'm a little bit more intellectual in my delivery about things. And I am not the next Pokimane type commentary bitch on the internet. All right? I'm so much more than that. And I deserve some recognition.
Oh, no, you're not. You're not like Pokimane at all. And that's she is a classic example of a thought. And she's like, I don't show my ass. Oh, fuck. You're not, that's not your market. That's not who you're appealing to. You're playing to that weeaboo audience that just wants to see like the cute tiny little girl who's like, got all the Pokimane, the Pokerman plushies, Pokemon plushies and shit. And I'm all into anime, but like I'm totally not really, and I don't really know anything about anime, but like ooh woo.
And then the other fun part of that conversation that I usually have with people when it is that I give out exactly what it is that my channel is about is one, I have to sell myself to them, like, oh, how are you different? But at the same time, like, they'll go and watch it after I've sold them on the product that is Weebo Jones, and then they'll be like, you could do better. And I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, you could be doing react videos.
Yeah, you know what? I could be the next Pokimane. I'm gonna have a 9 years.
I mean I can't believe that when she's playing a video game, doing all of her stupid video game bullshit, meaning playing it badly, going, okay, I went over here. Everything's all giggles and bullshit with her, right? And then, my dinner just got here. So she goes down to the front door, doesn't pause the fucking stream or anything like that. Just leaves an empty fucking chair where her dumbass was sitting a second ago to go get her Uber Eats. And it's always some kind of like super organic salad or whatever the fuck. And then sits there and munches the fucking salad right in the fucking microphone while playing react videos because she can't go 2 seconds without fucking streaming her entire life, which exists in that stupid chair of hers.
That's the other thing too, right? People go on YouTube with the expectation that they're going to make, or YouTube or Twitch or whatever. They go on YouTube or Twitch or whatever with the expectation that it's going to be like their entire career. Like, oh, it's going to be something that I can just do all the live long day. And, it's super easy. But it's not. It's not super easy. You can't just do it all the live long day and be good at it. And even if you are good at it and you're putting out decent content, hey, guess what? People are still gonna not care about it, and YouTube's still gonna not give a fuck about it. And it's not gonna show up in people's recommended section because smart and intellectual and a little bit edgy is not a good selling content thing. No. Instead, we're gonna shill out Pokimane and react videos, video game let's plays, and just a whole bunch of people sitting for 4 hours around a D&D live stream. And, that's going to be the content that you're going to enjoy. Nothing else. Not a bit. Not a second.
And I've had people say, like, well, you can't knock the hustle. You can't cuss the griff. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I can. Because if Pokimane and e-thottery in general, can't be knocked because, it's a legit hustle and they're making money. I'm not saying they're not making money, but that would mean that the Kardashian family are the ultimate hustlers. And I'm not willing to concede that point. They're as empty and hollow and meaningless as any of you. They're just like, Pokimane wishes she was fucking Kylie Jenner. You know what I mean? Like you haven't reached the maximum levels of e-thottery. You haven't gotten a million different makeup company contracts and have your own line of makeup and your own line of clothing and everything else based on what? Just being an influencer. Oh, fuck that. You haven't even progressed on to having women wanting to be you. It's just a bunch of dudes watching you at this point. No dudes care about what fucking the Kardashians are saying. You know what I mean? You haven't reached the pinnacles of e-thottery yet. As if all of that can't be criticized as being empty, hollow, substanceless bullshit. Of course it can. So it's like you can't knock the hustle. Fuck that. I'm not saying that they should be arrested or stopped or deplatform what they're doing. I'm just saying they should be pointed at and mocked for it.
For anyone in the chat that might take this as like a, oh, you're just jealous of Pokimane type nonsense. It's not jealousy. It's not. It's not. It's irritability, because I get the comments that equate me to a thought, that ask me what sets me apart from this nonsense. Fuck. I get all that nonsense, despite the fact that I put my heart and my soul and my blood and my sweat and my tears into my videos. And even then, they're just, they're disregarded. I even get the odd person that just tells me, hey, you know what? You should just fucking give up because you're unoriginal. And you should, just be a titty thought streamer or whatever. Just post your tits on the internet. Go do the nude thing. And it's one specific person.
Put your tits on the internet.
Just put your tits on the internet. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll get all of the viewership. It's totally fine. And that is one specific person, but he's so freaking annoying that it happens. And I just kind of clump them in together because it's irritating. I'm more than tits. I think I've established that reputation as being more than tits. Thank you very much. And at some point, it'd just be nice to be recognized as such, I guess. Okay, we're at 10:01.
All right.
Ending
Cocktail hour has reached its hour and a half.
Yeah. And now I gotta go take a shower. I feel all like Gollum-y, Like
Gollum-y?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I've just traversed the entirety of Middle Earth looking for the one true ring and not found it, except I found it in the possession of someone else.
You see, chat? She's stepping wet and soapy out of tub. She's got her hand up in her crotch. And now she's going off to shower, but she ain't an e-thought, okay?
I'm not. You can't even see my cleavage very well. You get this little sliver right here, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's not a cleavage window. It's a sternum window. It's
a sternum window. It's not low enough for cleavage. Check yourself. All right. Anyway, thank you to everyone who donated to me and Polly. Thank you to everyone who shared this, who liked this, who commented and gave us some nice little talking points and maybe some detractions, because we always love those. Thank you to Polly for showing up on time this evening. And also, I hope that your friend feels better.
Yeah, we'll see. I know she feels better. She got a massive dose of a massive prescription of fun meds. So yeah, she's feeling fine. She felt fine to me.
I'm glad. Polly, do you have anything that you want to show before it as we retire the bar?
Just my channel. You know where to find it. Yay, it's in the description.
In the description.
Is it good? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check out the channel where we do comic book curation every Wednesday. Jack Inquisitor and myself. It's great fun talking about everything in and around comics, and then the occasional Noir Bar series that Weebo has repeatedly and steadfastly refused to show up for, but it's a good time nonetheless, even though she is too good to come to the 1942 saloon.
I'm asleep when you're hosting Noir Bar. You silly goose. All right. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you to everyone who will listen on later in the evening or the next day or whatever in the next couple of days. I hope you enjoyed this installment of Cocktail Hour, and I hope you got pleasantly buzzed with the rest of us. Thank you, and have a good evening until the next time. Peace.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Night.